What's going on, guys? Today on this Shoky third-party Transformers masterpiece sort of review in the Zeta series, we're looking at their version of Skydive, and I forgot what they call them, but it doesn't matter. And you'll notice it's the return of the white background, and that's because this guy's mostly black and would just disappear into the black background. So there's that. Now, something I have been constantly forgetting in the reviews, so I'm going to pick it back up now, and then it'll appear suddenly in the other ones after this, is he does come with some really cool character cards, and this is his version, and Down Thrust would be the name, so yeah, Skydive, Down Thrust. And this is a credit card. This is super card. And you got some silver under there, you got it in the embossed logo there, except for the fact that that is ZB-06, which is the number of the entire guy. So, and then you have all the tech specs and stuff on the back, which is actually pretty cool. I completely forgot. These were actually in my pocket, and I forgot. And like I said, this is a heavy thing. This is a credit card plastic, which is really, really neat. So, he is the F-16, I believe. Got the single tail fin. I could be wrong. ZB-05, by the way, is what he is. Yeah, so he's pretty cool. I like him. He's mostly black, but then kind of a gunmetal-y silver color as well. Got the red going on there. Got the black molded plastic all over there. Autobot logo on that spot on his chest because he didn't have a very blatant one, and I got it about as close as I could for G1 representation. And then more translucent down here with some lightning bolts, which I believe is what he has on all his things. So it's cool that they have those molded on there. Also, by the way, it's going to take me a minute to get used to doing this on a white background again. It's a wholly different effect on your eyeballs. Translucent with some red and yellow paint underneath the kneecaps here, which of course swivel, like, stupidly. So it is what it is. Also, I believe, yes, this is our first leg bot. So we get some new transformation and stuff like there. New things happening. You got red tampo there. Silver on the inside, although that might be this, and this black is actually what's painted. Yep, that's actually what it looks like. The feet are pretty cool because these guys actually have heel spurs, because they have a giant gap in there. So it is what it is. Just got to be careful there. Oh, you know what? His ribs here fell in for whatever reason. I must have squeezed him without realizing it. By the way, I forgot to mention, orange face paint, blue eyeballs in there. He's got the missile packs mounted to his wings. We can just pull those off for now. Mostly because they're actually kind of pointy and they do hurt. Because, you know, totally different standards. Silver tampoed details all along here, which is pretty neat. And more silver on top of there. He does have a bit of the F-16 sticking out the back. And I actually still had him in leg mode. To some degree, at least backpack-wise. So the nose cone, which is not a soft plastic and is very pointy, was in fact put away. So I had to bring that out so that actually works. And I like the blue fin here with the yellow paint on top of it. That's a giant pain. I'm sure that's going to get scratched at some point in its life. But yeah, it looks cool. And something I haven't looked at was down the thrusters, but we'll see that more in jet mode. So yeah, he's pretty neat. Definitely new details and such. Especially here in the shoulders where he's got big old holes. Those are in fact for combined mode because he has a leg bot. He does have a ball hinge head which can do all the things and such like that. Shoulders don't move up here. They move there. Rotate at the bicep. Single jointed elbow, good 490. And then the same kind of terrible hands we've been putting up with for this entire time. I'm sure that thumb has popped off at least a time or two. Let's see, does he have, yes, he has waist rotation, although due to the backpack, it's not really going anywhere. And by the way, no ab crunch, we're not even going to attempt it. And he does have his gun, which is the first one we can actually see. Most of them just have some type of blue paint, as is like a twin barrel shotgun, and I have the thumb just out of the way so that I can just plug it onto the palm of his hand, and there we go. That's how we get our thumbnail. You know what? I'm almost to the point that I kind of would like to redo the rest of the things, but I think because those guys are white, they would just disappear into this endless void of background. So it is what it is. Move down to the hips. We got ratcheted hips, get you the full Jean-Claude. Hip skirts can move up, and you can do a nice chorus line. I'm sure single Jointed knee, only good for 90. It is what it is. Thigh rotation up at the hip, and the toes and stuff like that are just on a ball joint with a bit of a hinge there, so you can tuck the feet back in a little if you need to, just to fill the gap. But just watch the heel spurs because they're just sort of floating out there. You can see how the foot just sort of does what it wants. But it's nice. I actually like this guy. The orange face paint is weird, but makes him stand out, and I digs that. So quick comparison to G1 cartoon of him. Hopefully. Oh, I just realized this light is not facing where it's meant to. So there it goes. Now it's facing where it's meant to. So it's that one. There we go. So now that gap is gone. Okay, anyways, let's do his Combiner Wars counterpart, I believe, is who this is. No, this isn't him. Wrong one. Combiner Wars counterpart, had to find him. The wrong one in my hand. And you can see a lot of the same red details, black chest, silver, and stuff like that on the different bits and pieces, though he is, you know, a not so great mold. Has a jet on the back. Doesn't have lightning bolts from what I can tell, just that. And they did capture the orange face paint and blue eyes, although it looks dumb in comparison. This almost looks like a Megatron head sculpt. And then black toesies and stuff like that. So that is what he is. And then bring out our previous bots. So there's Slingshot. See, that's why I couldn't do that on the white background. It's me mostly talking to me, not to you guys. Fireflight. Same problem. Scooch back. And then Silverbolt. So we're almost done with the team. Almost. He's easier to see than the rest of them because Focus is like, where do I look now? You want to look there. Look there, Focus. So Silverbolt, yeah, with the nose cone, he's technically taller than Silverbolt. But there we go. There's most of our jet people, as it were. Okay, so time to get Skydive into plane mode, and because I struggled so much with the previous ones, as you've likely seen, I went ahead and did the arms already. So they are very similar in the way they transform, even though the arms are shaped very, very differently. So with these guys, you can put the heads away. So it's going to be hard to see because he is black. So you want to tuck these parts, these things that make up these sides, you want to tuck them inward as far as they'll go, but you need to leave a gap for the head. And when you get it, you'll get it. I mean, there's no good way to see it because of where it is. You can see right through there. And then fold these flap skirt things in. And you got tabs here that will come down and tab in. Come down, clear this. That is... Oh, the arm is in the wrong position. How the heck did that happen? Okay, so we want the arm like that. Sorry. It's like I was looking at it, I was like, why is that not right? Okay. And come on, buddy. There we go. Okay, so that's the torso done. So you come back here, all of that will just do that. So you're going to take your tiny futuristic jet, and you want, and don't pull out, pull up on the front and pull back on things. So you can see little lips there. And you can bring this guy forward on these hinges like so. And then those same tabs will go into these slots here. Now, this is a point of contention for me for these things. The landing gear. You can see the landing gear is tucked away inside this sandwich part. And it is a spring-loaded landing gear. So you can take it out now. And by the way, that was already broken like that or cut off before I got this. So that was not something I did. They did that at the factory. And see, there's also this guy up here that comes into play later. So you have this whole hinge up here, but you don't use it for this guy. But that, I feel, is where the landing gear should have been, but no. Okay, so we want to bring these together. Just tab them together like that. This also should be painted black because that's the intake for the main turbine on this thing. So get that there, and then we can just do what we got to do and drop that down like so. Landing gear like that. So front of the jet is essentially done. Take this flap here and very gently put it there, because if you end up bending it and getting it in a weird position where it's shoved into that gap, good luck getting it back out without a spudger or something. It's not easy, but it's a neat little thing. It's almost like an air brake. And then in a similar fashion that we got from the previous jets, you just want to line everybody up here, get the tail in place, and the legs, well, they're similar, but they're not at the same time. Go ahead and come down to the feet. You see the feeties here. Flip toe in like that, and then we want to pull up. There we go. And you can see all of these different things here, and then all the different slots here, and you see these cutouts there correspond to this hinge. So the leg tabs in and off of a thing down there to shrink itself like so, and you can pull the foot in and really compact it down like so, and then you're going to bring all of this forward up to here on that hinge. But because we have to get this into place, we're not going to do that just yet. Also, you want to flip this up and into place like that. That'll fill in the little raised section back there. So that's done for now. Now we'll do the same thing on this side. So heel spur in, collapse the foot down, use the hinges, straighten that out, then use the hinges to get us down like so. Flip these up. You see why I said I like the leg bots better? It's just easier. Okay, so we tab those together, and we want all of this guy to come down and back here like so, and there's two things there that will slot over tabs the back of the legs, and then we can just bring these in as best we can. Line up all of our posts and hope for the best, I guess. So, okay, yeah. Need that little bit of extra clearance there. Alright, who's not cooperating? There it goes. That guy was not going down. Okay. So all that, and then tuck this down. So I want that about as flat as I can get, like so. Then one more thing you can do with these little knee covers will come up and will cover the hip skirts or front skirts like so. It's not great, but it does it. Let's see. Oh yeah, his landing gear. You flip this up, roll those out, close that back down. I'm gonna have to say I don't think the actual jet does this because it doesn't seem particularly secure. Now his wings we never put back on, so we have them like so. I just realized those missiles are totally facing the wrong way. Come on. Quick explode. Explodey missiles. Okay. Alright, so this is this side. And it's kind of like what the other guy did. You got a big tab that's going to have to come in from underneath there. So we want to plug that on as best we can and push in and tab up like so. So there's one wing. There's the other one. There we go. How did I do that? I didn't even consider the fact I was putting the missiles on upside down. Do that. They probably would look better interior-wise, but I don't really care that much. for the most part, all the missiles are going to go away because this guy's going to be displayed in combined mode, and I'm not going to have missiles hanging out all over the sides of this guy. So there's that, and that was way easier for this one. Why was it so much easier? And then sometimes it just feels like nothing over here wants to be lined up properly. But there we go. There's our Skydive Spaceland. So for comparison, yeah, that's essentially supposed to be that. Not really a faithful, you know, recreation. It's like there's no lightning bolts, there's nothing. But it's the only one that's very similar in nature here, but, you know, it is that. Oh, I didn't really show anything off, did I? My bad. So you got your yellow lightning bolts there, Autobot logo that I put on there, all your no steps and your cautions, your caution hots. And by the way, I mentioned it before, but you got some red paint inside the actual thruster there. It's cool. Yellow paint painted over the blue plastic, all of the warnings and such, danger caution, hazards, impact hazard, tan put on all this detail down the side. And then you got ZB-05 up here. And see how this one is splitting a bit? We'll see more of that coming up in the next one. And then cockpit opens up, single cockpit there. It's nice. I mean, it's a good looking jet. And you know what? I was an old school jet fan, and this was one of them. F-16. It's pretty neat. These little bitty guys here are annoying. And yeah, these don't tab in that great. So now we got a problem because I have to come way back, and odds are you're going to see more stuff that I don't need you to see. And we're going to bring out the rest of the jets as we've done them. So there's Harrier Boy, whose rear fins are weird. Here's our Phantom friend. And Jet Boss. Now, I'm going to ask a dumb question, because the way they're numbered, he's number 1. Was he in charge? Technically speaking? It's like, was Silverbolt not the leader? And I know, like, apparently, like, as a combiner, they were never quite the best. You know, this was one of those, the Autobots created them because they needed something. It wasn't Minosaur was the reason they created it, I don't think, because maybe it was because of the Combaticons. But, you know, they wanted somebody who could fly. They wanted their own jets. That's why they created the aerial bots, and they used Vector Sigma to get there, if I remember correctly. But yeah, the team is looking really good. I'm getting ever so closer to the combined mode. So let's get these puppies put away and get this guy transformed up. Okay, so combinery time for Mr. Dive of Skies here. And as we've been doing, we're going to take the wings off. I know, it's not accurate to the way. Shut up. If you have the ability to remove the wing to make your life easier, do it. Get these off to the side. So basically what I'm going to end up with is a box full of little guns and hands and wings. Oh, he was the one that had a lot of overspray. I'm filming these things back to back in case you don't know. Okay, so we will need to get this one to his oh so glorious leg mode. And yeah, this is going to be interesting. So they don't transform the same way the other ones do. So we got to fight that. But that's okay. But because he's a leg, essentially all we're going to do is make his backpack, and then we're golden, essentially. The only thing I'm going to do is leave things loose so that we can put the foot on later, because we're going to need a little bit of clearance sake for that. So what we want to do is go ahead and pull up on this. And we want to split this guy in half and try not to release the landing gear. Please don't release the landing gear. They're so damned annoying. And see, the other thing is this gap here is also going to have to be made loose later on. And then we want this just to be kind of floppy. Come to the back. I'm going to free this up. all of that came up with it, so that's that right there. Get in there with a spludgerino. Just kind of free everybody. Split this open, and then we can bring the backpack up. I'm trying to remember how it compacts. I think it's this way. Nope, definitely not that way. Okay. Oh yeah, folds up and over this way, like so. And get these folded up, and then come on. Okay, like that. So one tabs into the other. Whoa, what happened here? Okay. Well, that ain't gonna work, is it? Okay, this is where I get to pretend like I know where I'm going wrong. Oh, I think it's... Yeah. I forgot about this. I always forget that there's an extra dealie up here. For clearance. That's what's up. Okay. I knew something was weird. I think we also want to fold these in. Okay, so this is actually going to come down to here. And the legs are going to do that number. That's right. I knew I was forgetting something. We also want to fold in the nose cone. So go ahead and break that loose. It's helpful if not everything is, stuck together already. Oh, come on. There we go. Fold the nose cone away. Then put that on. Then fold this down. Then we can go ahead and close up shop here. We want to make sure we put these in the gap. And it's just a whole bunch of plastic origami up till now. And like I said, we need to be able to leave these kind of loose. Just sort of tuck everybody together like so. Yeah, that made it easier. Okay. Now I thought that this would get a little more solidified than that, but perhaps not. Or maybe it's just because these aren't 100% in position. There we go. What is it about this one that just does not like to tab into itself? Okay, so the foot, when we get to it, it has to slide into these parts and then tab into those parts, and then it'll tab into other things. But this is its basic leg mode, and you do have the ability to tuck that away just in case. And then everything else up here is exactly the same. You don't really modify it at all. These guys never really want to stick in place, so that part kind of sucks. And then we all are going to have to break this up for that. So the leg modes are real easy in comparison. And speaking of that, that's his comparative leg butt, but he won't actually be facing this way. He'll be facing this way. So unlike this one, which is a bit more tune accurate, where the jets aren't hanging off the front, this one, you have the jets hanging off the front. You can turn it around, but it's actually you can't, now that I think about it. The way things are, you can't actually turn these around and put them on backwards. So that sucks. So leg mode, and then once again, we'll put the feet on, we'll do all the other things in the next video. I say the next video, I mean the next combiner part of the video. Because obviously the next one is the next of the aerial boats. And yeah, you want to kind of do this. And then in reality, I could pull this off to have more clearance, and for when he's on the shelf, I probably will, to be totally honest with you. So let's yeah, let's just pull that off for now. So we just basically have what equates to a folded up jet leg bot. So he's a pretty good one. I actually do like that. One of my ultimately favorite kind of jets. They all are still suffering from some type of QC, you know, fitment issues, things like that. But at least for the leg bots, some of the transformation is incredibly easy, especially from jet to leg mode. I mean, like, that was it. That's all it took. It's way shorter chunk here. And then you even got your toesy still here. The only thing I'm really disappointed about is that these tabs really don't stick that well. So they're gonna be flopping about. It's almost like there's just almost too much room. Like, it's just not latching in good enough. But other than that, yeah, this is a good one. And the use of color between the reds and the silvers is pretty nice. I do like it. So, guys, if you haven't, go check out the rest of them. It should be all in a playlist. And, of course, go check out the Taro video for how we got this guy from combined mode to robot mode, because that seemed to make the most amount of sense for my money. And then, yeah, from there, just watch everybody. Watch all the things. It's good. We still got one more bot to go, and then we do full-on combined mode. But until then, guys, remember, as always, to keep on flying, even if you're just a block of a jet.